Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
Welcome into the Fairways of Life show, folks. Pleasure to have your company. As you can see, we are live inside of the press center here at the AIG Women's Open. We're about that direction, about 50 feet from the first tee of the old course and getting ready for everything to get underway. I can tell you that early in the week, this story is very much about the weather that lies in store. What's classic about being over here is you're checking your weather app, and the weather app literally says, no, it's not raining. Meanwhile, it's coming down sideways outside. That's exactly what's going on right now. Nelly Korda was behind me doing her press conference. She only got up and left a few seconds ago, and she looked so bundled up with the cap and everything on. It is cold. It is windy. It's going to be wet. It's like the quintessential weather to have here at the old course for the Open. The third time that the women will be here for the AIG Women's Open, and they're going to get the full brunt of it. Dom, I know you were working on some forecasts. Show me the one that we were talking about just before we went on the air, that one, that the graphic that you put up. Yeah, so this was a graphic that Dom put up, right? And I'm looking at it on the right where it says west, southwest, 24, 21, 22, 20. That is so wrong. The winds right now are at that speed or higher, and the gusts that they're going to get from Thursday onward, they're saying they're going to be 40 miles per hour or even higher. So, Dom, is this – that's not the official championship forecast, right? That's the one you found at, like, whatever, Weather Channel or wherever you got it. Do you have the official one from the tournament, too? Because I'm curious what the championship says it's going to be.
I do have the official one from the championship, Matt, but it's only in text, so I couldn't give you guys a visual. I'd be happy to read it. It is more along the lines of what you were saying in terms of rough and tumble, but remember, and you're going to hear this word more than once, they use the word confidence and low confidence quite a bit, so who knows?
At least they're honest.
That being said, here's what it says for Thursday, day one. Light rain, with 30% chance of being moderate rain at the start of play. Quickly dying out.
I guess it's a question of what you consider moderate, but okay.
Trace amounts of rain, it claims. Winds, southwest, 17 to 22 mile per hour, sustained. Gusts, 30 to 35 miles per hour around the start of play, with a decrease, but then quickly increase. This is how it says. It's going to slow down. This is going to speed up. This is all one day. This is just Thursday. And then by the mid-afternoon, it'll be 28 mile per hour sustained winds with 38 mile per hour gusts.
Here we go.
With 30% chance of gusts to 45 miles per hour.
Exactly.
This is just Thursday. And the high is 66 degrees, although with that wind and the light rain, I would think it's much cooler than that. It feels like that.
It is.
And then here's Friday's. The weekend looks pretty solid, but here's Friday's forecast.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
A spell of rain, perhaps heavy, it says. Perhaps heavy. Overnight, morning, and then more light showers. Rain, 10 to 15 millimeters. I don't know what that means. Low confidence for winds. Perhaps light, perhaps not. With gusts around 25 miles per hour midday. Gusts going upwards to 30 mile per hour for the afternoon, and there are chances of gusts above 35 miles per hour during the afternoon rounds. And the high is a little lower. It's about 64 degrees, 18 degrees Celsius. For the weekend, it looks a little bit happier. This is what they write for the weekend, for both Saturday and Sunday. A mixture of bright and sunny spells with a few showers, occasionally fresh to strong winds, with a slight chance of winds over 30 mile per hour at times, but mainly on Saturday. Temperatures slightly below average for that time of year. So the forecast we have up on the screen is not at all what I just read to you,
No,
which I
that's what I
think
was
is
saying.
glorious.
Right before we went on the air, you showed me that, and I started laughing. I was like, I don't know if you got that at optimusweather.com or where you got that from. It's nowhere near what's actually going to be happening over the coming hours and the coming days. It's going to be ferocious. Now, this is, for me, I think this is my 5th Open that I've covered at the Old Course at St. Andrews. And 2 of those 5 have been directly impacted by weather, meaning that even though the greens here at St. Andrews are relatively flat, that's obviously a comparison. However, if the winds get to or exceed 35 miles per hour, you can get oscillation of the golf balls. And if they get that, then it's a very good chance you're going to have a suspension of play, just like I mentioned that I've seen in 2 of the prior Opens that I have covered here. One of them necessitated a Monday finish. And with the current of things that we're seeing right now, I would not be surprised if that was not exactly what took place, that we weren't all back here on Monday. Now, you guys can hear what I'm doing here. I'm part of the AIG Women's Open radio, which is the world radio feed, which you can hear on the website. You can hear it on theopen.com, the AIG Women's Open website as well, because they do have dedicated ones. They all feed back to the same mothership. You can hear it on the app for the event. And I'm not sure where else it's syndicating. I do believe that it will be, at least in part, on Sirius XM, but I'm not 100% certain of that. I mentioned it in yesterday's show, if you guys recall. The video you're watching, of course, there for a second was just players walking up the 18th, and it's been really cool watching the players practice over the last few days and the excitement that everybody has because we're back here at the Old Course. It is such a special place. There you can see some of those that will be looking to make their mark. Lilia Vu, as a defending champion, it's been really fun because she got here on Monday and saw the course for the first time. She had, of course, hand back the Women's Open trophy, the AIG Women's Open trophy, and that's always a fun and bittersweet moment when that gets handed over to see if they can reclaim it or not. She did address the media to speak to how she's feeling, how she's doing, and what her prospects are to defend.
Yeah, it's been so cool. Yesterday I played the back 9 and today played the Pro-Am, so 18 holes. It's been so cool. On Sunday night on the way from Dundonald to here, we actually had a final send-off for our trophy at the Dunvegan, so it was really cool to stop by there and see all the memorabilia there. Yeah, I think it definitely feels different. We're at St. Andrews, which is like the place that everyone wants to play. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and there's a little bit of pressure, but I know that it's going to be a battle for everyone, not just me, so I'm going to try my hardest and do my best out here. I think because we're able to narrow it down to the shot in front of you, you kind of just zone out and actually zone in and just play one shot at a time and not get too far ahead of yourself. Everyone's going to make mistakes. It's just whoever makes the least mistakes out here. I don't want to be cliche, but I got a cat from it. That was my bribe with my dad last year, and we got another bribe to get another cat if I do another major. So hopefully I can do that. But yeah, my cat, I named him Walton after Walton Heath. So hopefully I can get another cat and maybe name it something else. Yeah, I actually played for the first time yesterday. So it was definitely surreal. I got to play with Nelly and 2 other players. So that was super cool too. And yeah, we took pictures at the bridge yesterday and again today. And you just don't ever get over that feeling of other past players being there, and so much golf has been played here. So yeah, it's a surreal feeling, and I'm trying to soak it all in at the same time being focused on playing the tournament.
Really cool stuff from Lilia Vu, and our preview show that's already been completed is airing right now. And again, on the radio side, if you choose to hear that, we were talking about the fact that she got this cat and she named it Walton. Well, apparently the full story now is that if she wins again and she gets that second cat that she was just mentioning, the second cat, I guess she wants it to be a female cat. And so the question is, what do you name it? Because we're at St. Andrews, the Old Course. Do you call the cat old? You can't call it Andrew, right? She wasn't going to do that. So I'm not sure what the option is. But the speculation we're hearing is Andrea may be the name of the second kitty if she's able to win. Remember, she does have good form. She's already won this year, and she came in second at the Women's PGA Championship. So who knows? As I mentioned, there's been a lot of players that have come through here. One of them is an absolute legend in Karrie Webb, and Karrie Webb is back here quite obviously because of the fact that we're at the old course at St. Andrews. Just the other day, she had a chance to address the media and express to them her enthusiasm for this event.
It's always meant a lot to me, actually. Even winning it the first couple of times, and as a non-major, I always came into the Women's Open thinking of it as a major. I think because it's the Men's Open's had such a long history in Australian golf, and growing up and getting up in the middle of the night to watch it. For me, it was, playing in a Women's British Open was always as important as any of the majors that we played. And in 2001, it becoming a major, I think was long overdue. And the tournament's only grown a lot since then. We started playing the old course and Carnoustie and Troon, places where women's golf had never been played before. So it's very special to be back here. I was looking for my yardage book from 2013. I missed the cut when I played in 2013, and I was like, next time it's here, I won't be playing golf again. So I won't be, playing again. So I threw it out, so I couldn't find it. But it is good to be back here. I wouldn't have thought, 11 years ago, I'd be teeing it up here again.
And talk to me about links golf. You're, in my opinion, one of the best players we've had in that area. What's the keys to playing links golf well?
I think what I love about it takes me out of my technical mind and gets me being more creative and hitting shots that you don't normally hit. And it's, I don't think judging the wind is as precise as it can be on other golf courses. I think here it's just all feel and visualizing different shots. And, and here at the old course too, I think it's knowing that you can hit it in the rough, aiming at the rough on purpose as you miss off the tee, because that gives you the best angle into the greens, and it's just trusting that that's what the game plan is that day for that hole, because the next day it could be hitting driver off the tee and hitting it way down there because it's playing downwind. I've not figured the golf course out, so I wouldn't say it's a course that I'm in love with, because I think I could play it 100 times and still not think I have the keys to how to get around here really well. But I just think when you make the loop at the back end of the course and you head back into the town, I think the town of St. Andrews is just so cool, and the backdrop of the town all the way into the 18th is just it's just a wonderful setting. And I think part of it is just the history of the game here at the old course. That, I don't know, it just makes it feel different.
Very, very cool indeed. An absolute legend back here to play at this AIG Women's Open at the old course. There's just something magical about being here. And I was kind of smiling, Riley, as we were watching her, because it was beautiful and sunny. Yesterday, we were sitting down to have dinner right about 6 o'clock. Couldn't have been a prettier day. Just everything had cleared out. All the rain was gone. The skies were blue. The sea was shimmering. The old Grey Tune looked as bright as it possibly could look. It was really, really special indeed. In fact, I'll tell you a fun thing that myself and Donna, my wife Donna, did yesterday, and it's the first time that I've ever done it with all the trips back here to St. Andrews. We did a walking tour of St. Andrews. So we went to all of the big spots you may know, but the part that I found to be the most fun was we went to spots that you probably haven't been to before. For, like I said, someone like me that's visited old Tom's Grave and young Tom's Grave and Alan Robertson at the shadows of the cathedral ruins and more. But she took us to some really unique places and told us some really neat stories about this town. It was very, very cool indeed. Now, I did want to talk to you about Charlie Hull, because she addressed the media, and she is one that clearly on this side of the pond, many are keeping their eye on for good reason, because Charlie Hull, if you recall, factored last year at Walton Heath. She ended up finishing in second place. But this Charlie Hull, the current edition, is one that seemingly is carrying with her great confidence. And in many ways, I think for her, it's call it a comfort in her own skin, that she's happy to be and willing to be who she is, let the world see it, warts and all. And I think that's very powerful for a player's psyche, because so much of this week, with all that lies in store, aside from the pressure of a major championship, aside from the pressure that trying to win it at the home of golf at the Old Course at St. Andrews, you're also going to be dealing with conditions that are going to require players to chill, to take it slow, to make sure that you have plenty of patience. Let's find out the mindset of Charlie Hull.
Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, it's the home of golf. It'll be a pretty special win. It's something that you've always dreamed of as like a baby. So yeah, it'll be very special. Yeah, I teed up on the back nine yesterday morning, and as you walk down like 17 and 18, you get like goosebumps. It's pretty cool. Well, a couple of weeks ago, my coach got me working on doing a lot of three-quarter swings because my golf swing got a little bit too long. But now I kind of understand why he's got me working on three-quarters, because he's just kind of introduced me to get a lower ball flight for these couple of weeks coming up for the links. So I think you just got to be patient out there. I do find St Andrews actually a harder links for me, not necessarily because it's super tough, but because you can't really, the lines on the fairways, like it just looks very open. So it's quite hard to pick a point in the distance. But usually I like them really tight, like fairways, like Sahali, because you kind of see the ball shape, like, and where to hit it. So I think out here you got to be very focused on your point and your target. So that would be my caddy Adam's job. Yeah, 100%. I think it would be really cool. I think it's like, it'd be cool if it was here every like 5 years, or I don't know, however long. It'd be really cool. Yeah, definitely. I think like the first round of the Olympics was more just because of nerves, like putting a lot of work, but coming back after like 5 weeks off, I just get like a little bit nervous. Like I have all my like little checkpoints, and at home I was playing some great golf, but it was just like the first round of the Olympics. I don't know why. But then the last 3 rounds I was 8 under par, and I was back to myself, and then carried it on last week. My shoulders just get a little bit tight, so I have like acupuncture, like needles in it every other day. I've actually got it after this, because when it's cold it can play up a bit. I've got, is it degenerate arthritis in it as well, so when it does get cold it gets a bit stiff, so you just got to keep it warm. Apart from that, I'm healthy and ready to go.
All right, Charlie Hull letting us know what's going on with that shoulder. I didn't realize that about her shoulder, but she also alluded to the Olympics, where she opened, if memory serves me, 8 over? Or from that point on, she went 8 under? If I'm not mistaken, maybe it wasn't 8 over, but it was a slow start, and she has a tendency to start slow in that opening round. So if she can control that tendency here this week, watch out. Again, a lot of it is going to come down to the luck of the draw. Which side are you going to get? The more timid side? Are you going to get the side where it's absolutely howling out there at 40 miles per hour? What point, maybe Andrew knows this, at what point does wind speed start to become something that has a name? Like, I think a tropical storm, right, is 70 miles an hour? Am I wrong on that? Or does it start somewhere like over 40? But whatever, it's good. We're facing some conditions that are I don't know if you would. Do you know it, Dom? Go ahead.
No, I don't know it. I don't know.
All right,
it.
there you go.
But
Well,
that's like super rude. Just like I'm
no,
that
you
dumb.
can't. Come on.
You're like, you know
You
what? I have a
can't.
really
Come
good
on.
question in my head. I wonder if Andrew would know the answer. Dominic certainly wouldn't know the answer.
And was I not correct?
Andrew doesn't know the answer, but neither do I. So,
Well, I'm surprised
we're all
that Andrew
equally
doesn't know.
dumb. We're a team here.
No. I'm just surprised Andrew doesn't know it. That's the only surprise that I have in any part of this conversation. All right, so, Dom, 2 things. One is I'd love to know if you have a question of the day today. And secondly, I'd like for you to tell the story of what we're going to play next for everybody. How did we get Celine? You've been working so hard on this, and the fact that we were able to do it just before we went on the air today, we're supposed to record it outside, but it was pouring rain, so we hauled the equipment and the cameras and hurried our golf bag back inside to record it. We'll get to that in a second, but those 2 things, if you would, about the question of the day, and kind of give us the background story.
First of all, once storms develop sustained winds of more than 38 miles per hour, names are generally assigned to them from predetermined lists. You're welcome.
Andrew?
I am super smart. Super smart. I'm the best Googler there is. The question of the day, Matt, is as follows. Have you ever played St. Andrews?
Oh.
18% of our audience has played St. Andrews. That's amazing. Good for them. 64% have not played. And 18% are like, it is on my bucket list. I've got to do it before I die. So technically speaking, 82% of the audience has not played St. Andrews. And before I tell the story about Celine Boutier, knowing that most of our audience hasn't played St. Andrews, I know there is a secret illegal trick of trying to play St. Andrews. Would you like to share?
Yeah, what Dom's talking about, it's a couple things. One is I like the way the question was asked because he asked, have you played St. Andrews? The Links Trust alone has 7 different golf courses. The Old Course is one of them. So I'm curious how many of that percentage are going with the literal question you asked. Going, oh, yeah, I've played St. Andrews. Have you played the Old? There is a way you can get on the Old. It's very, very hard to get on here. You can go to the ballot system. You can do that online. You no longer have to stand in line in like the pre-dawn line that they take assignments. Which ironically, I did one time. I got in line about 3:30 in the morning, and you have people staggering out of the different pubs, and they're getting in line. And I can't remember what time in the morning they start to take. They start to write down your name. And maybe it was about 5:30 in the morning. So they write down my name. Probably 6:30 I get to the front of the line, and the man says, oh, yeah, you got a tee time. And at that time, we were an hour earlier. Dom and I were doing radio, and we would come on the air at 7. And so the man said, well, you got your time. You're at 10:30, half 10, as he said, in the morning now. And I was like, oh. He was like, what? And I said, I can't do that. He's like, you just stood in line for 3 hours in the darkness and cold, and I just told you have a tee time on the Old Course. It's at 10:30 in the morning. You're saying you don't want it now? And I was like, no, I can't do it. I've got the radio show to do at noon. At that time, we were on it at noon local, and I said, no, I got to do our radio show at noon. So I passed on that. Now, in fairness, I played the Old before, and I've played it a number of times since then because of our trips and everything else. Ironically, Don, the last time I played the Old Course here at St. Andrews was with our friend Mark Carnevale, rest in peace. And so I remember coming on the air and telling everybody what just happened. And we get messages just like it's coming through right now, and I'm sure the messages are of a similar vein as it was those years ago, where they were like, what an idiot. You got a chance to play the Old Course. Say no show today, or Dom, good luck. Have at it. So that is what took place. So if you want to play, I remember one of our trips here, probably 10 years ago now, we had a guy that played the Old Course 5 days in a row. And the way you do it is you go in, even if you're with, like, if Dom, if you and I were over here playing, you go with a couple of guys, you go late in the day and you go as a single. And you will get on the Old Course. That's the secret that Dom's talking about, right? Because everyone's like, oh, I'd love to play. I have to get out there. If you do that, like I was saying yesterday, by 6 o'clock, it was gorgeous. It stays light, so late. You have no problem finishing at all. And that way you can definitely get on. But Dom, it wasn't that long ago that you and I were here, and I know for you it was I remember it was an emotional, not to speak for you, but I remembered it was an emotional experience for you that first time that you actually walked down the steps and came to the first tee at the Old Course at St. Andrews.
It was. I am sad to report that I was there with you for the Open Championship, the 150th, and I was in St. Andrews on property for, I think, 16 days with you. I think it was 15 or 16, because we went in early because we were filming and shooting a bunch of features and stuff. And I think I was there for 15 or 16 days, and I did not strike one golf ball anywhere. And it was very, very difficult. But there you got Andrew's got some pictures. That's me in front of the RNA building. So I'll just tell one very brief story, and then I'll tell you what you want to hear about Celine Boutier, which is much more important than anything I have to say. But having never been there, ever, I had no idea how, I'm trying to think of the right terminology, how close the golf course is, how it sneaks up on the village. It's basically adjacent to, or even you could say a part of the village.
It is a part
with
of,
how
yeah,
close
definitely.
it truly is. And I didn't know this, right? Like I knew it was in, it's hard because you've never been there. I knew it was in St. Andrews. Great job, Andrew, getting some of this stuff, by the way. This is footage I took on my phone when I was there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
also
from
the first tee,
at
so
the
it shows you
150th.
how much the first and 18th are in the center of town.
Yeah, well, that's also the 18th green, and I'm standing on the first tee. That's how close everything is. But what I was going to say is I didn't know how close it was to everything, so I wasn't expecting it. So I was on my phone, right? I'm there with Matt for work, right? So I'm working. I'm texting people. We're trying to line up shoots and do all this stuff, and we're just walking down one of the main roads in St. Andrews in the village. And there's big old stone buildings everywhere. I'm not really paying that close attention. And Matt is hitting me in the arm. He's like, "Get off your phone, get off your phone."
I was trying to get him
And
to pay attention.
I look up on my phone, and there's steps to my left. I mean, like one step away to where my foot is standing, and I'm in the middle of the road. So I take a left, and I'm going down these stone steps. I take it's like 3 steps. I went down like 3 stone steps, and Matt is like, "What? Get off your phone!" And I look up, and I'm on the first tee. That is, I mean, Matt, maybe you know it in yards. You're there right now. It's like 15 yards from the road is the first tee. It is right there. And I did not know that. It was that close. And so it was an absolute shock to my system. And so I looked up, and I'm like, oh, all of a sudden I'm standing right there. I'm on the first tee. The bleachers are there. The bleachers are behind me. I mean, that I took out my phone and started taking a video immediately. That was it. That was the moment. And I think what Matt was referring to, I teared up. It was a shock to my system. I didn't anticipate feeling the way I felt with my goosebumps. I also didn't anticipate to be immediately on the golf course from being on the road. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for it. So it's an extraordinary experience, even though I didn't hit a golf ball while I was there. And I feel so lucky to have experienced it, and I can't wait to do it again at some point. And if you haven't been, you must go. Even if you don't strike a golf ball, you must. So It's incredible. Celine Boutier. I'll give you like a 30-second sort of lead up to it. It's a challenge getting the best players in the world on the program. Always has been, always will be. Their schedules are madness, about as crazy as Matt's schedule. So I have been speaking with her agent for months, trying to find windows that we could speak with her. And sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. And in this case, they worked out kind of. It was pouring when Matt was trying to do the interview. I think, Matt, you had to go inside. And because of the nature of the circumstance, I thought it would be unique and different and special. And I know you agreed, because we didn't have as much time as we were hoping to get with her, to spend a little bit more time talking about her equipment, because a lot of players will make changes coming into an event like this, especially with the conditions. Obviously, you have the wind, but also you're playing links golf. And the way you set up your golf clubs can very much be different, whether it's bounce or loft or whatever it might be, to deal with the condition of the golf course. And I think Celine talked a little bit with you about some of the changes she made in her golf bag and why she made those changes. So I'm really happy we were able to get a little bit of time with her. I mean, she's a major champion. She's got 6 wins. She's been on 3 European Solheim Cup teams, and she's still quite young. So this is a young superstar, and don't be surprised if she's in the mix this week, Matt.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And she plays PXG, and PXG, as you guys know, is a part of the Fairways of Life family. So with everything that Dom was telling you about how hard he worked with her agents, etc., to make this come together, we were able to do it. So as he mentioned, we brought her inside so she wouldn't be standing out in the pouring rain while we conducted the interview, which she was very thankful for. It gave us a chance to talk about her game, and her bag. And so she took us through it. Delighted to be joined by Celine Boutier right now, and we're going to talk about a lot of things, including what's in between us here, this equipment, in just a moment. First of all, I want to say thank you for taking the time to join us. Lovely to see you. How's your form? How's your game?
It's all right. I think it's getting there. I feel like golf, you never really have everything together, so it's really always a work in progress. I'm trying to get all the parts of my game coming together at the same time, which is not always easy, but I think it's getting there.
And how was the Olympics for you?
It was a great experience. To be able to do it at home was something that, not many athletes get the chance to experience that. So it was just incredible to be able to perform in front of a home crowd for such a big event as the Olympics and be a part of something so much bigger than golf was really cool.
That's great. Now, talking about big events, of course, this week at the Old Course at St. Andrews, hosting the AIG Women's Open. How was your experience with links golf? What's it like to be on this property?
Yeah, it's really fun. I've definitely grown up, in junior golf playing a lot of links golf throughout the years. So I've definitely had a lot of experience and a lot of good memories, some bad memories. It's a little bit of everything. You just have to be prepared for everything here. But it's definitely a little bit of a challenge, just finding the conditions, playing a course that's different every day. And especially on such a tough course as the Old Course is always surprises.
Awesome. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your equipment. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to start here, if you don't mind. I'm going to start, first of all, with the driver. You have, this is
the Black Ops from PXG.
I was going to say, it's Black Ops. Okay, there it is. It's on the front. Yeah.
So it's come out sometime last year, and it's been really big help for me. It's definitely a lot more forgiving, and I was able to get also more speed out of it. So I definitely put it on the bag like the first week that I tried it, and it's been in the bag ever since.
All right, now you have on this one a 9 degree of loft on your Black Ops. Did you keep it at that, or did you do any adjustments?
I kept it the same. I was able to get a decent height, and the spin was definitely in the right window, so I definitely didn't need to change the loft or anything on it, so which was really good.
When you talk about performance that you've gotten out of this Black Ops, how were you in terms of distance compared to what you had prior?
A little bit more speed off of it, especially also on the missed hits. They were, they are not centered, which sometimes happens when you tow it or you heel it, but the ball flight also gets to stay really straight, and so I think it's a little bit more forgiving and more speed overall.
Excellent. Okay. From there, I wanted to ask about something which I'm sure you're going to employ this week with links golf. You've got a couple of hybrids here. What's your philosophy in terms of hybrids? What were you looking to do?
Yeah, I think in general, for me, hybrids are a more forgiving club than longer irons, and I'm able to get more height out of them, which is easier to stop on the greens. This week, I normally have 3 hybrids. This week, I've put the 5-iron in instead of a 5 hybrid, so I only have 2. But they're very forgiving, easy to play, and also in the rough, it's a lot easier than having a lower iron, I find. So I've definitely always played a lot of hybrids.
Now, you've got the 2 hybrids here. You've got a 19 degree, they have 3, and the 22 degree with 4. Respectively, what's your normal distance with these 2 clubs?
Yeah, so my 4 hybrid, which is the 22 degrees, I normally carry about 175 meters. I don't know how that is in yards. I think 190.
Yeah, about 195-ish.
Yes, and then my 3 hybrid is 185. So it's about a 10-meter gap in between each club, and I'm able to kind of manipulate a little bit depending on the height and the lie.
Awesome. Okay, let's jump into the irons here and talk about them for a second. Then I want to finish with the wedges. First of all, I want to go to the 5-iron because you mentioned specifically that you put, I'm going to switch hands, because you put it into the bag this week. This is a Gen 4 model for you. So obviously you found a model that you feel works for you, that you're comfortable with. Could you take us through this iron and why?
Yes, so this Gen 4 irons I've been playing for I think 3 years now. It's definitely a club I can really trust, and I kind of know my yardages. I know how they're going to react, and so I haven't really felt the need to change to the newer models. I've definitely just tried the Gen 7s that are coming out, and I think I'm going to switch after this week just because I get a little bit more height out of them. But this week I don't need height. I just want to keep it as low as possible, so the Gen 4s work perfect. But yeah, like I said, I normally don't play a 5-iron. Just because I don't get as much height in normal conditions. But this week the 5-iron is just perfect because you can fight the wind pretty nice and just keep it, below the wind to get it affected too much. So it's a very nice addition to the club this week.
Yeah, it's a nice balance, as you can see in this iron too. You can see kind of the width of the flange. You can see how it's blunted on the back side, how it's, as they call it, pre-worn on the front blade side of it as well. Really beautiful iron. KBS shafts on this one, and I see you have them in a stiff flex.
Yes, it's been a few years now that I've been playing this shaft. It's been really nice. I was playing a steel shaft before and wasn't able to get that much height out of them. And when I switched to these, they were very nice, just nice trajectory and very reliable shaft. So I've been playing this shaft on my iron for, I think, 3-4 years now.
Cool. So a little bit, as I'm working around the club, a little bit lower kick point then to get it airborne. So we were talking about the merits of the iron with Celine, running through them. Obviously that technology, I'm just going to hold it up so the camera can see it, Celine, runs through the entirety of the line with that medium width flange that she's using. The mass of the weight, you can see, is below the equator of the golf ball. It's going to get that height that she was talking about and working on as well. So it's very, very cool indeed. Okay, I'm going to talk about these irons, but I'm just going to, for heck of it, grab this one because it's a 58 degree. And this is a beauty.
Yes, it's the first wedge that PXG has ever come out with. It's the Sugar Daddy. I think it's about 6 or 7 years old now, and they don't make them anymore. But yeah, so I'm really trying to keep them as long as possible. I think there's like about 5 left in the factory, so I'm trying to go through them as slowly as possible before I have to switch. But these are definitely the first wedges that I've gotten from PXG, and they're the best. I love them so much. They're so soft and so forgiving. I'm able to get a lot of control out of them. On my wedges, I'm able to flight them, and it spins so much. And on the short games, I'm able to have touch that's soft enough that it can also stop very quick. So I love these wedges, and I'm very sad that they don't make them anymore.
All right, now it looks, the reason I grabbed this one in particular is because it looks like you've done a little work on the sole on this one. Did you grind that, or is that just from hitting a zillion balls?
That's just from wear and tear. Yeah, like I said, I'm really trying to work them as long as possible. But yeah, I have kind of a bounce that's very mid-range, a 7 bounce, so I'm able to work that on softer grounds, but also on firmer like here as well. So it's got a very good versatility, and yeah, I love them.
It's awesome. She's going to be able to pinch it anywhere she wants to. So we did want to go through this bag with some of the PXG product that she is playing and taking into play this week here at the AIG Women's Open. It's great to see you. Good luck this week. We wish you the very, very best.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Very cool, wasn't it? To be able to go with play anytime you get a professional of this stature, a major champion, to go through their golf bag and talk about what they're using and why. What's the emotional connection? What's the confidence and trust that they have in their equipment? I think for me, my favorite part was that wedge, because the sole looked like she had taken it to the belt. Just was grinding off that sole. That shows you how hard they hit. And if anything else, it's the efficiency and the very exacting nature of a professional when they practice and when they play, that same spot is being hit over and over again. All right, we have more to talk about on the Fairways of Life show as we progress here this morning. For most of you watching, as I'm sure back in North America, though it is in the afternoon here in St. Andrews, Scotland, because it is week 2 of the FedEx Cup playoffs, and some big names have already addressed the media about what they hope will lie in store for them, and maybe perhaps talking about what happened in the week that just was, as this Fairways of Life show continues on this Wednesday. It is presented by the PGA Tour Superstore. They are number 1, and they're number 1 for good reason. Yeah, those big, beautiful stores that if you need something, you can find it there, whether you swing it, whether you wear it, whether you need to learn from it, and more. But I think the most powerful reason for their success, it is because of their people. They are professionals vested in your best interests every bit as much as you are. Shop with the pros at the PGA Tour Superstore.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together, hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can like have muscles and, you know, be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
Super easy to hit. Introducing the new PXG Black Ops irons, our first game improvement iron.
It's a larger face heel to toe.
It launches the ball high in the air and really far.
Much higher levels of forgiveness. You set that club down, creates a lot of confidence. It's supported by this X-Core column material.
And that's where you get improved ball speed. If you're looking for a distance, forgiveness, and feel, Black Ops iron is going to be for you.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal cabin. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
I guess the only goal I had was just play well. It was a comfortable pairing. Obviously, playing with Gooch and getting to be out there was quite fun. Obviously, I've played with John a lot over the last few years, and it's fun to watch him play. He's definitely got the better of me the last couple of years, so it was nice to get one back on him. So this was a nice team win as well. Everybody played good. John played phenomenal, and Jay, he played a phenomenal round today. I guess what he had like an 18-footer on the last. Yeah, 20. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he had a chance to hop in that playoff as well. So that's what you want to do when you're playing. That's a setup question. I'm not going to answer that because I'm sure everybody will tear me apart. But no, you have to believe you have to believe in yourself and be super confident. So I feel like, this year has not been very good. So it's nice to kind of try to end it on a high note. And obviously we got 2 events left, so we'll just see what we can do. No, not at all. 4 majors was pretty disappointing. So I've had, I think, only 2 chances to win. I've won them, but that's not enough. Pete was probably about 6 holes in a playoff. I think me and Taylor, we went 2, maybe 3. So it was nice to only go 1, I guess, this time, and not have to sit here and hopefully get on the flight and get out of here, get back home. And but yeah, no, this was good. I think this one just meant a little bit more. For the last few years playing John, and obviously he got the better of me at Augusta, and so yeah, I just wanted to beat him, and he played phenomenal today. The way he finished down the stretch was pretty clutch, and it was fun to watch him this week. That's pretty good. I wish it would be a lot more. Everybody does, but yeah, just trying to go compete and go win. Like I said, I've only had a chance to win 2 of these, and I've pulled them off. So. The key is actually being a little bit more consistent. You look at John all year, he feels like, he's had 8 and 9 events, maybe where he's top 6 or has a chance to win on the back 9. So I think that's what needs to happen for next year. I pretty much knew that if I got to 20, I thought I would have it. Obviously 16. I had a good chance, just hit it in the correct spot. It wasn't exactly a good number for me, so just trying to play it to the safety side. And then 17, just kind of thought I hit a good tee shot, just didn't fade. Went in the rough, was trying to hit it right. It just didn't come out very good, and short left isn't exactly the best spot to that pin for a 30-yard chip shot. And, hit a good chip and hit a great putt, just didn't go in. So sometimes that's kind of how it goes, but just got to keep battling. You never know what's going to happen.
Can you believe that was a playoff between Brooks and John, meaning Koepka versus Rahm down the stretch? just part of the buffet of golf that was the week that just passed. Xander Schauffele is also one of those who was in the mix and very much in the mix for the FedEx Cup playoffs. He had a chance to address the media talking about the near miss, a couple shots behind Matsuyama in the one that just was, but he is pecking on the door of Scottie Scheffler's lead as we come closer and closer. BMW this week and then the Tour Championship next week. Let's find out what was on the mind of Xander as he reflected back and looked forward.
I've won 2 times and he's won 7. We both have a lot of top 10s. It's kind of how I'm drawing it up, you know. I know that's how you guys draw it up, but for me, I mean, as a competitor, it's just have a lot of respect for him, and it was cool to you know, get to know him and Meredith a little bit more at the Olympics, and even Teddy too. So he's been playing unbelievable golf. I feel like we're all just chasing him. I've done probably the best job of getting the closest to him, but it's still very far away. So just, you know, a lot of credit to him and his team for putting together a really special year. He's genuinely he's just a really nice, he's a really good dude. You know, he's not afraid to poke at people and laugh and have a good time. And he's definitely hyper competitive. And, but yeah, at the end of the day, he really is a rock solid guy. You know, there's honestly nothing I can say to knock on him. Yeah, it's big. I mean, that's all I was sort of trying to focus with my team on in Memphis. I mean, I think same as this week. It's fortunately had a good regular season, so I'm in a position to not relax, but I can play conservative and, you know, kind of hold my spot. Or it's going to be, you know, I could win this week and still not take Scottie, you know, just with how often he finishes in the top 10, you know, with the amount of points we're getting. So that was my goal last week, was to sort of get the swing and the shape of it in the right, you know, pushing that in the right direction, and then start seeing some putts going. And this week as well, I mean, you know, no matter what happens, I think just really understanding that I need to stay in a good process and day in, day out, do the things I need to do to sort of, you know, springboard me into playing really well at Eastlake. It's interesting. The media has been an interesting thing to me the last 2 or 3 years. You know, there's a reason behind inflated purses, and a lot of people have been talking about money. And I mean, the news that I do read, you know, it's funny. It's really negative. It's painted really negatively in golf, which is fine. I think people like to hate on anything these days. But when I look at other sports, you know, when someone gets a $300 million contract, you know, there's all these positive comments about how someone got their bag, or they've worked so hard to get this and they deserve it, and things like that. So it's interesting to me. I think maybe golf is a gentleman's game, and you're not supposed to talk about money, but all the media wants to do is talk about money. And us players, I think the players that make the most money don't think about money, because it's just not the most important thing. So to answer your question, yeah, I mean, winning $25 million would be really cool and really nice, but I don't think it's going to change my life. And I can tell you, if I lose and play bad, I'm going to be pretty upset about playing bad and not being able to peak at the right time, more than losing money. The thing, I mean, it's different. You know, the money that's around the top players is skewed. You know, you take the top 10 quarterbacks, you're going one-on-one, which is not really fair, I'd say. You know, Sky's won 7 times. I think that's including Olympic gold, and maybe 8. I don't know. I don't want to mess that up, and he's made, you know, significantly more than everyone else. You know, if you look at how much 10th is made, the 10th best player in the world's made, it's not going to sniff how much Scotty's made, and that just shows how well Scotty has played in these big tournaments. You look at the number 1 quarterback, he's getting $60 million, and then the number 10th quarterback's getting $52. And then the number 15th is getting 39 or 40. So it's like, obviously there's way more money in football with TV and everything that's surrounding it. So it's hard to compare the 1v1, because Scotty's just been that much more elite. And, you know, I think he deserves everything that he's getting.
Absolutely amazing. PGA Tour wins for Scottie Scheffler, of course, have been 12 in total, just to make sure we get that right for Scottie. He's a multiple-time major champion as well, having won the Masters on 2 different occasions. He's also won that gold medal that Xander was alluding to there. I did want to remind everybody, because the press conferences that I mentioned here inside of the media center of the AIG Women's Open have continued they're flowing through, and they will continue to flow through. If you go on to the Fairways of Life YouTube channel, you can see all these interviews, whether we're talking about that, which you just saw from Brooks Koepka and Liv, whether you're talking about the interviews from Patrick Cantlay and Wyndham Clark and more that will be coming through on the PGA Tour side with the FedEx Cup playoffs, or these interviews from here at the AIG Women's Open, including Nelly Korda. You can find them all there. Please ensure that you follow us, that you subscribe to our Fairways of Life YouTube channel, because we just last couple of days gave away that driver that we were touting. It was a AI-10 by TaylorMade driver that I can't remember the name of the gent who won it, but it was given away. What was it? The QI-10, I beg your pardon. Did you get the name of the winner,
driver,
Dom?
Yes.
Did you get the name of the winner?
I don't have the name. I don't. I can try and find it. We did do it. We gave it away, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So that's happened as well. So, and we're going to continue to do it. When I get back, I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do next, but my instinct is I'll either do a really high-end putter, or I'll do a set of irons or something like that. Maybe you guys have some thoughts on it. But before we wrap up here from the AIG Women's Open, and I'll be on the air tomorrow at 2 a.m. Eastern time if you want to catch our coverage early in the morning. I'm not sure when you guys were planning on tuning in on the TV side or what have you. Dom, could you tell me, because I can't see on my return here in Scotland what time the graphic says the TV is on in the USA. Could you let people know in North America when they can watch on the TV side too?
Of course, yes. The AIG Women's Open kicks off at 7 a.m. on USA Network in the States. You can see on your screen there. Same time on Friday. Same time on Saturday and Sunday as well, but it will be switching over to NBC on the weekend at noon Eastern time to wrap up the event. But again, with the wind, I don't think the rain's going to be an issue, Matt, but the wind could definitely impact how things unfold. So
yeah,
we'll
I'm glad that
transpires.
Yeah, thank you for telling us, because I'm glad you did that, because if it's on at 7 a.m. Eastern time in North America, that means that our radio side, which you guys can hear on the app, you can hear it on the website, the RNA website, the Open website, etc., the Women's Open website.
I think we have
we're on at 2 a.m., so it's 5 hours earlier that you'll be able to hear the radio coverage if you're so inclined to. If you wake up early and feel like really immersing yourself in the feelings that go along with it. Okay, Dom, let me ask you a question before we wrap up. You had a question of the day about people playing the old course. Have the percentages changed significantly from when you asked it?
Let's check. I don't think they have, but I'm going to check right now and tell you that the answer to your question is 18% have played St. Andrews.
That's what it was, yeah.
55% have said no, and the rest are saying it is absolutely on their bucket list. So they're going to be doing everything in their power to do it as soon as they can do it. And that's a lot of people that haven't played it. By the way, even though I was there for 15 days, I'm on the list of people who didn't play, which is depressing. But it's on my bucket list. So there you go.
Cool.
Also, if you have it, I found it. I don't know if you want it. We made a little video with the guy that won the driver. Do you want to see that? Because we gave it away yesterday.
I would love to. Yeah, hold on. I won't be able to. I may not be able to see it on site here, as I mentioned to you, but I would love to hear it.
All right. Well, hold on one sec. We'll play it for you guys. This is us giving the driver away here.
What is golf in your life like? Is it something your everyday? Is it something you just do for fun?
Played golf since I was about 5. I'm 32, so 27 years now. Yeah, played in a couple of national championships there at a D3 level college.
Nice.
I'm now a nurse. I'm a nursing supervisor, which just means I am in charge of the whole hospital and making sure it flows and keeping people safe and happy. I still golf quite a bit. I did just have a child last December.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. Even though Dom's kid is like 8, I think he said. And I'm just beginning that venture. I still play probably 2 or 3 days a week. It's a big part of my life. Make unreal connections that way.
Playing with right now, club-wise?
Most of my clubs are pretty old
Okay.
school. Irons, I play Titleist AP2s. My driver is actually Nike VR Pro. I'm like 08.
One of Matt's favorite golfers is Rory. What country is Rory from?
Ireland.
Yes. It's a good accent, too. Who won the men's 2024 Olympic gold medal?
Scotty with a great comeback win.
How many majors has Xander won this year?
2, which is next
Crazy.
level. The guy's been top 10.
If you were to win this driver, how much lower would your handicap go?
My technology is quite old. The dispersion is crazy. I bet I'd be down to a 1.
Well, that's great to hear because you won the driver. So get ready to be a 1 handicap, my friend.
Thank you so much. I'm stoked. I've been telling my wife all morning. I really need this thing.
That is absolutely awesome, Dom. Now, I'm not going to take the driver away from. It's Daniel Mario Renzi. That's our talent on those pieces. Part of our social media team with Lindsay, and he did a great job. But you realize he got a question wrong, and they both were like, "Yeah, that's great, that's great." Do you know what it was, Dom?
You going to complain about the Northern Ireland difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing to get wrong. They're both like, yeah.
Yeah, only
right,
if you're from Ireland, which is not a lot of people.
They're 2 different countries, but no, I'm delighted for them. It was awesome when I have seen that video. They sent it. I saw it actually on social media, to tell you the truth. So it was cool listening to it here. As I told you, I can't see on the return. Okay, before we wrap up here today, though, I'll give you the first shot here.
You lost
Who
return?
do you think's I don't have the video return. Yeah. Unfortunately, in Scotland, it's not coming back to me.
You can't even see me right now. That's a shame.
I cannot see. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Could be doing
but
anything.
Before we say, this show used to be radio for a long time, so hearing alone is fine. Before we say goodbye, though, I do want to get your pick for this week for the AIG Women's Open.
I had someone in mind, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and switch it and say Celine Boutier after listening to her talk about her clubs.
Oh.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. I'm going to go with my pick is Allie Ewing. And I've had a funny feeling that Allie Ewing is the player that I've wanted to pick for some time. Allie, as you know, she's secured her spot on the American Solheim Cup team, and this is the last week for those that are hoping to secure it without needing a captain's pick. She's had 6 top 10s so far this season, but this is the reason why I feel like it's going to happen here at St. Andrews. She was tied for 10th at the Avion. She was 5th at the Women's PGA Championship. She was 3rd at the Women's U.S. Open. She plays great in difficult weather. Remember, she was in the mix late at Walton Heath last year. And so this is the magic of St. Andrews. We're coming in this morning and we're going through the security line where they check your bag and so forth. And as my bag is getting checked over my left shoulder, someone says, "Oh, make sure you check him really good." And I turn and it's Allie. And I see Allie and I said, "How you doing? How you feeling?" And she said, "Great. I feel really good. I'm excited about, the week." And it kind of put her arm on her shoulder. And I said, "Allie, this is it, She looked up at me like, "What? What are you talking about?" I said, "This is it. This will be the week." And she for a second, you could see she was trying to process what I was saying. And then she goes, yeah, I think it is. So Allie Ewing is my pick, and I do think it's going to be the week. So I normally say until we are together again, but I'm not sure if you're planning on joining us on the radio side. I hope you do as we are getting underway. A couple of the guys, Chad and Big Randy from No Laying Up, are part of our crew, and I love working with those guys. Got a chance to meet them and work with them last year, and it was a lot of fun. We'll be doing that again this year. And we look forward to your company there. So the next time that we are scheduled to be together, I will be back stateside and we'll catch up on anything and everything that we missed along the way, and I'm sure forge some new pathways as we move along. Great job, Andrew. Great job, Dom. I know you guys have been very, very busy with everything coming at you this week from all corners, and to all of you. Thank you as ever for your company. Be well, and goodbye for now.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The best feeling iron I've ever hit. Introducing the new Gen 7 irons, the greatest leap forward in irons technology, in performance, in PXG history. Our new quantum core material explodes off the face. Are you kidding me? The Gen 7 irons deliver groundbreaking new levels of forgiveness, speed, distance, and feel. That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that trajectory. Just phenomenal. Gen 7, it doesn't get any better.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm going to go after the PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Getting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're going to need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
What would your ultimate golf experience be like? Just you and a friend? Or would you round up some buddies for a foursome? Just one day? Or an entire week? There's a good chance your ultimate golf experience could be Michigan's magnificent 10. 10 incredible courses set among 3 remarkable resorts. See for yourself. Book your ultimate golf experience today.
Our journey began with a simple yet powerful vision to provide the world with the highest quality Virginia-type peanuts. The Hubbard Peanut Company, where quality and tradition meet to create an unforgettable experience. Visit hubspeanuts.com to explore our full range of products and place your order today.
PGA Tour Superstore pros aren't born. They're made. Every January, hundreds of associates talk to the top manufacturers, learn about the latest clubs, test the newest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls, all so they can get you the perfect fit.